Hello everyone! It's been a while since I did a flip through, and I was just finishing inking up some of the illustrations for January in my bullet journal, kind of going back and having some fun finishing off some pages that I didn't finish. And I kind of thought I hadn't really done a flip through in a while, and I know last time I asked, even though these videos aren't as popular as the Plan With Me's, there were quite a few people who did enjoy the flip throughs and wanted me to continue doing them. So I thought I'd go ahead and do one for you for January, and I'll kind of go through and do February and March in the next few weeks to kind of catch myself up, and then I'll start doing them again monthly if enough people still want to see them. So we'll see how this video does, and then we'll go from there. In this overview of my January pages, I'm going to be talking about not only showing you pages that are unfinished because I didn't have the time, or I didn't feel like working on them. Also talking about how my sketchbook fits into my bullet journal, and how my bullet journal is not only a journal, not only a planner, but a sketchbook for me as an artist. January, obviously, beginning of the year, I did a whole, I actually did a series of 3 videos, how I closed out the end of the year, the beginning of the year video, and then my plan with me for January. And January went fairly rough in the beginning. I went through a wave, like the first couple of days I was really motivated, and then I went through a wave of depression, and that really shows in my bullet journals. I started off with an opening page, did some decorative leaf gold painting. You may be able to see some of these pages, they might reflect a little bit. It's a gold pigment paint from Winsor Newton. I just absolutely love it, and I used it a lot in my pages. So right off the bat, you'll be able to see how the depression affected me. I did not keep track of the temperature and the weather every single day. I started to write down my goals and break them into tactics, and it just kind of flopped a little bit. I didn't fully flesh it out more like I wanted to. My food log just got completely lost in translation. And I also started using the Fitbit app, so I just didn't have the motivation to continue drawing it out. And this is, I believe, is the last month that I ended up having. I might have done a food, no, I think this is the last month I have it in. It's just really time consuming, and now that I'm using the Fitbit app, it just doesn't make sense to waste my time doing this. So even though I liked it before, I just think I have more things to do. And my tracker, I did keep track of my tracker for the most part. There were a couple of things that I need to go back and check. And then at the end of the month, I went ahead and added up all my tallies and added them in on a little sticky note to keep track of everything. These will get transferred into the spreadsheets like I showed in my end of the year video. I do like a spreadsheet with all the final tallies for the year. My memories, not as filled out, because the beginning of the month when I was depressed, I really wasn't doing much at all. I was doing a little bit of business work, but for the most part, I was dealing with my depression by trying to just do things that made me happy, and that was not bullet journaling at the time. And yeah, at the end of the month, I ended up finishing off really nicely. I went to go visit one of my friends, which you'll see, and that really helped me out a lot. I started sketching out and writing down some ideas for the winter headers and icons at this point, and I believe I did release that video in January. It was one of the very few videos that actually got posted in January. Now onto my pages. I talked about this in my January plan with me, where I started tracking everything that I did during the day and like the time blocks and how much time I'm wasting. As you can see, that did not last even 2 days. This took forever. It was so time consuming to sit down and like write, okay, at this time I'm doing this. And sometimes I would forget to write it down, and then I'd do 2 or 3 things in a row, and I wouldn't write down the times, and then I had to go back and be like, what time did I start doing that? It just was too much of a pain. Not helpful and very time consuming, and it just really, with my mood that I was in, as you can see, I didn't even finish off this week. It fizzled out, and my mood fizzled out, and everything crashed and burned. But I kind of got back on track. So what I started to do is, these 2 illustrations are actually from later on in the month. I just started writing down what I was doing every single day, and I didn't fill in any of the pretty stuff. I just left it really blank. So then towards the end of the month when I started to feel better, I went back and filled these in. So these are actually two different, this is a painting and this is a print that I saw at the, not Mass Mocha, the Clark. I went to the Clark with my friend Becca, and these were two pieces that I really, really liked, so I sketched them into my bullet journal to make it a little bit more decorative. I absolutely love how this came out. I don't know if you can see all of the gold, but it came out really nicely. I did a white pen with the gold paint and black ink wash. So just love how this came out. I actually kind of want to replicate this or make my own design, obviously, because this is somebody else's design and this is somebody else's composition, but kind of take this and make something else out of it. I really like the, because he used Prussian blues, and so all the blacks were blues, and there was blues in the trees and stuff, so his is really cool. But I really want to take the gold and the black and the white. I think it really pops, and I want to do something with that. So I had a lot of fun finishing this off this week, and it kind of motivated me to keep working. I got some new stamps, which I ended up using in the February plan with me, and a couple stickers and whatnot. Another example of keeping it very simple. I kind of messed up there. I was going to put a ticket or something here, but I misplaced it, so if I find it, I'll put it in. If not, I left it blank. Keeping it simple and not being super decorative is how I deal with not wanting to work on my bullet journal at all. And I used some of the winter headers and icons that I at this point had posted and come up with, so I could kind of use those to decorate. So when we were going to the different museums, I was, like I said, sketching the different pieces that I really liked, and also like different designs. There was these really cool dome-like things that had illustrations on the inside, and it was printed on a 3D dome, and so when you stepped into the piece, it felt like it was a 3D piece, like it wrapped around you. It was really, really neat. By Ryan and Trevor Oakes. There was a couple of them there, so I sketched out the design of the dome to kind of remember that and look it up later to find out more information about it. This, like I said, this was Japanese ink print. There was a exhibit for Japanese prints. I think it's actually still on display. I have to check. It might have ended this month. It might be until May. I gotta double check on that, but that was really cool. And then this was in the permanent collection. This is when I started to visit my friend Becca and go to different places, and I started to feel better. And we also went to a life drawing session, so I apologize if that naked people scares people, but these are all from a life drawing session. So this is kind of like the opposite of what I did here. So here I wrote down things and left space for an illustration, and in this case, I went to the life drawing session on a Monday, and then I filled in all of the sketches with keeping in mind while I was drawing these that I would need space to put in my days. So these weren't here, but I was like, okay, well, I could write text here, and so I kind of like filled this in. This was also the little wristband ticket from the museum that we went to, so I kind of had some fun with that. I really like how this page turned out, and honestly, if I could make every bullet journal page like this, I actually prefer a little bit of chaotic sketchbook versus bullet journal more than some of my more structured pages. I just really, really enjoy when I'm having some fun with it. Plus, adding in the little like scrapbook element to it helps me to kind of make it more of a journal, just as much as a planner and a sketchbook. So I really like that aspect of it. I want to add more of that in, and you'll see when I do go over February pages that I definitely did that when I was traveling as well. So that is what I want to do moving forward, and I won't always have the time to do it because obviously life drawing, I have the model in front of me and I draw a lot. These are all drawn in the same night, different poses. If you're not familiar with life drawing, you usually do a couple of warm-up poses that are like 5-minute poses, and then you do 10-minute poses, which is this one and this one, and then there's a 15-minute pose. So, and then I think I did some longer ones. Yeah, I didn't write down the time, but I think these were longer poses. So I kind of had some fun with it, drew these, and then finished off the month and did a little end of the month. My end of the months have been really tiny, so I just have kept them on the same page instead of creating a separate page for them. And then we're on to February. So overall, those are the two different ways that I structure in the sketchbook part of the bullet journal. You can either leave space for the drawings or leave space for the text. And I think it works either way. This is a little bit more structured, whereas this is a little bit more chaotic, crazy. Some people, it might really bother them that everything's all over the place, but like I said, I actually prefer this, even though this is nice as well. Sometimes I don't leave myself enough room, though, doing it this way. And so it's kind of like what takes... Well, I guess the same could be said for this. It's kind of like what's more important to you. Is the art more important, or is the planning and the information more important? It depends on what your bullet journal is for you. If the planning and the writing down the information is the most important thing, then this might work better for you because you are giving yourself the space to write everything down rather than being really cramped. Because I got really cramped down here. I kind of forgot that I would have to do Saturday and Sunday, and so I kind of got a little cramped. But yeah, I don't know. It's just different ways of making it a sketchbook and the bullet journal has the planning, the journaling, and the art aspect of it. For me in particular, for me personally, I like adding in the sketchbook aspect because it keeps me drawing. And to improve as an artist, you have to draw every single day. And so when I have a planner and a journal that keeps me accountable to write something in every single day, then I want to draw every single day because I'm already sitting down working on this. It's not like pulling out a fresh sheet of paper or pulling out another book and setting all my supplies up. I've already got all my supplies out. I've already got my bullet journal in front of me, and so I might as well keep drawing. I might as well do a little doodle. And that helps me to keep working on my craft. If you are also an artist and you think a bullet journal would be a good idea, maybe you already have a sketchbook and you draw every single day, and maybe just adding in the planning and the journaling aspect of it would be beneficial for you. It's just overall a very versatile, creative project that you can take a custom tailor to you. That is you in a book form. You can make it whatever you want, and that's just what I absolutely love about it the most. And I hope you enjoyed looking at my bullet journal. I know that it's a very unique bullet journal. It's different than a lot of other people's. Well, I guess everyone's is different, and that's a good thing. If you did enjoy this look at my bullet journal, please do give me a like and subscribe. I make new travel and art content every single week. I want to have a discussion with you. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comment box below. I always love hearing feedback of any form, so please do let me know what you think. And until next time, remember to live, love, and travel on. Bye!